Hey everyone, it's Beyond here, and I'm here making another video. I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, that I wanted to make a video on. And yes, I'm out here on the beach, just taking some time to enjoy myself. Just made a video just before this, but I'll stagger the uploads. I'll like upload the first one today, which will be Monday, and then I'll upload this Tuesday. So you'll see this one the day after. Um, but yeah, what I wanted to talk about was I just lost my train of thought. Oh no! Gosh, why does this happen, man? Because I'm not doing my original format where I normally just write down, in my notebook a topic and then I write down points. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just free flowing with what I want to talk about. Um, I remember now. Change. I want to talk about change, and how fascinating it is to just change. Because these days, truthfully, I've been finding myself. Oh my goodness, the wind is so strong. I don't know if you guys can even hear me, by the way. Like, the wind is so strong. Yeah, I've been finding myself. Gosh, this is gonna be such an interesting video to upload. Y'all are just probably gonna hear the wind blowing at like max volume and the camera falling down like every 2 seconds. Ugh. But that's part of the fun of it, honestly speaking. Because I'm trying to make do with what I have. It's not like I have some sort of like super stable setup or some sort of microphone. I'm just out here winging it, man. I'm just winging it. I'm just winging it. But I'm having fun. Also, why won't this stay still? What the heck is going on here? There we go. Yeah, change. Because I find myself these days doing things that my younger self said they would never do. I always like these days and for years now, honestly. I find myself doing a lot of things my younger self vowed that they would never do. I grew up in a very conservative, religious family. Also very narcissistic and abusive, but also very conservative, hyper religious, like into like overzealous behavior. Like that's how bad it was. Which was also unfortunate because they would hide a lot of the demonic things they would do behind the Bible and Christianity, which just messed up my whole conception of God for quite some time. But because of that, there are a lot of things that I had in my mind that I would just never do. I would never smoke. I would never get a tattoo. I would never get earrings. I would never do XYZ or whatever. I would never enter into certain industries. And now, because I have grown and I have a greater understanding of life, and I've seen like the world, and seen different cultures, different religions, researched, different things. I'm just like a completely different person, I've done all the things I said I wouldn't. Tried smoking because I wanted to see what the hype was about. No, I don't smoke right now. I don't smoke. I barely drink. Don't even eat meat anymore. That's another thing. Not a day in my life did I ever think I would say that I don't eat meat. Now, occasionally, again, like on a rare occasion, I'll eat something meaty. But for the most part, I don't eat meat. I never thought I would say that because I used to love my meat. Could not You could not take my meat away from me. If you did, there would be a problem. We would have a problem. Seriously. Big on the chicken, big on the steak, big on, everything meat, you know. And I've just changed so much. I've changed so much. And for a while, I used to think that, if my younger self were to see me now, he would be appalled. I used to think that, like, oh, what would my younger self think if they saw me today, who I was today, how much I've changed, all the things I said I wouldn't do, that I have done, you know? How would they feel, again, for a long time I thought that, they would despise me, but now it's like I know that's not the case. I have spoken with my younger self, you know? It sounds crazy to say, but as I've grown and I've worked on healing a lot of the traumas I have faced in my past that my younger self would have gone through, I've been able to really speak to him through that. And he has so much admiration for me. And he is so proud of me, it's such a surreal feeling, honestly, to feel, because again, I never would have thought that. I never would have thought that my younger self would even feel that way about me. But he's so proud to see how far I've come and how much I've changed for the better, how much I have released a lot of these conditioned mindsets, these brainwashed things that were pushed onto me, I've broken out of that. I've broken out of those chains myself. And with the help of, the divine creator, of course. And my guides and my angels. And all those spiritual beings and ascended masters and divine beings that, have helped me to get to where I'm at. But, at the end of the day, I had to make the choice. I had to make that choice. All this guidance from everywhere would mean nothing if I didn't make that choice. No, again, as I said in my previous video, no one can force you to do anything. And that's I'm talking not even the divine beings out here, not even your ancestors, your guides, or whatever. Nobody can force you to do anything. You have to make that choice for yourself to grow, to change, to improve. And it's not always easy. Matter of fact, most of the times it is never easy to change. We seem to have some sort of aversion to change as human beings. It's scary to a certain extent to change, because it's like you don't know what's really happening next, what's happening next, to change. You're either in a new environment or you're a different person, and you have to learn everything all over again. You have to learn this new environment. You have to learn yourself all over again. It's not easy, and it is scary sometimes, but it is the path one takes. Okay, let me say it in a full phrase. Change is a path one takes when one wants to live a better life, to embrace love more, to live on a high frequency, high vibration, to have a better understanding of the world. That's the path one takes if they want to get there. If you want to live a happy life, a fulfilling life, So that's the path that I've chosen, and I've reached to where I've reached today because of it. And again, I'm so, not only am I, my present self, so proud of myself, and my future self too, because, my future self is counting on me to get to where they're at. They're counting on me to make sure that they exist, you know. And my past self on me again, like, is so proud that I've reached where I'm at right now. And it's just, oh, what a feeling, man! What a feeling! I saw an Instagram post the other day that really made me want to make this video. It was you did what you said you wouldn't. And again, like, I find myself doing that more and more, a lot. And I've come to the understanding that, you know, there's a good reason for that. You know, the more experiences we have in this life, the more, oh my god, is that a chicken hawk? Wow. I wish I could show you guys, but if I switch the camera, it's most likely going to end up falling down when I try to set it up again. That's so cool. What a nice visit. I've been seeing a lot of birds these days, actually. A lot of birds. Like, just birds everywhere. I feel like it's a sign. I need to search that up when I go back home. Like, the amount of birds I've seen. You know, like, again, like, I just saw a chicken hawk in the sky. A lot of falcons, a lot of little birds as well. Seagulls, just birds. So many birds. Is it a sign that I'm about to be let out of the cage? Well, I'm already out of the cage as far as I'm concerned. I feel free as hell, but am I going to take flight? That would be great. Or more flight than I'm already taking. Well, that sort of sidetracked me. I forgot what I was talking about. What were we talking about, guys? Do y'all remember? Yeah, change. And yeah, like, the more experiences we have, like, I've realized that the more experiences that we have, you know, the better understanding we have of why things are how they are, or, you know, we get a better understanding of ourselves as well and the world around us. And it helps you grow, enlighten yourself. Like, I'll take the smoking thing for example. You know, I vowed to myself when I was younger, oh, I would never smoke. But it's only after I smoked is when I realized truly that it was something that didn't appeal to me. It didn't help me. It didn't benefit me in any way. All it did was just harm me. Raise my chances of getting lung cancer. It didn't do anything for me. It's only after having that experience in which I really understood, you know, and made that conscious decision. You know, if I didn't have that experience, I would be wondering all now, well, what if it is good for me? What if it does help me? Blah blah blah. And when I mean smoking, I don't mean like cigarettes, because I can't smoke cigarettes at all. Like, I can't. Me and nicotine are not good friends. Oh my god, I cannot. My body is so sensitive to nicotine. I cannot. If I try to take any form of nicotine substance, be that through a cigarette or like through a Zyn patch or some nonsense, my stomach will immediately go into overdrive. The last experience I had with that was so unpleasant. I'll never forget. A friend of mine was like, hey, at the time, was like, hey, you want to try this Zyn patch? I was like, sure, man. Let me try something new. You know, new experience. Oh my god, fucking hell. It was horrendous. Not even like 15 minutes had passed and my stomach was going into like crazy mode. I ended up like throwing up so much after that. So sensitive to nicotine, can't handle it. But when I talk about smoking, I'm talking about like weed and stuff. At first it was like, you know, it was nice, you know, it was like, oh, it gives me this refreshing feeling and I feel so calm and stuff. But after a while, oh, that's a plane passing by. Hello, plane. Wait, let me see what kind of plane it is. Hold on. 1 second, guys. This plane is taking my attention. Where the heck is it? Oh well. Yeah. It wasn't. I realized that it was hindering me from my progress, and not only that, but weed is a tool. It's a tool to be used. It's a part of Mother Nature, and it's not something to use willy nilly. It's not something to use just because, to numb yourself. Um, you use it as a tool, especially spiritually, Um, and if you're not careful with it, it can mess you up pretty badly, you know. Same as something like ayahuasca. If you are not intentional, trust me, if you're not intentional with something like that, you can end up literally killing yourself. You can end up really, uh, you can end up dead if you're not careful. So, when I was on my journey of learning, experiencing things, and on my spiritual journey, when I really started to clean up myself and stop numbing myself with different things, and really dealt with the issues and traumas I had, it made my body so much more clear, so much more crystal, so much more light, so much more cleaner. But with that cleanliness comes a heightened sensitivity now. Now you're much more sensitive to things around you because you're not numbing yourself. You're awake. Your body's awake. Your body's healthy. It's primed. It's healthy. Yeah, it's just healthy, man. Like, I don't know how else to put it, you know? So because of that, I became much more sensitive to weed and some different those substances in general, to where I have to be very, very intentional with how I use it now. Like, I have to take it in very small doses if I want to. I haven't used it or done it in a very long time. Very long time. But if I am to engage in it, I have to be very intentional, and I have to be very careful with how much I take, because my body now is so sensitive to it, because I've done a lot of that work, that internal work, you know. It's so interesting. Being healthy isn't just about being healthy, but once you're healthy, it's now about, how do I put it? Being aware of that. It's so strange, because again, it's like we live in a world where there's a lot of unhealthy stuff. So I guess it's like, once you're healthy, it's about maintaining that health, you know. And it's so interesting to discover ways in which you have to maintain that health. Things you used to do in the past which were fine. My goodness, I cannot seem to get this thing to just stay still, huh? Alright, yeah, like things you used to do in the past, in which, you can't do anymore, right? Because now it actually affects you negatively. So, yeah, that's one example. And another example I'll give is the whole meat thing, where, again, like I limit how my meat consumption by a lot, like in terms of, oh my god, like I'm sorry guys, most of this video is probably gonna be me trying to fix this camera. Okay, good, it seems to be okay, cool. Yeah, I limit it, like once in a blue moon I will probably eat meat every now and again, very rarely, because again, my body has become so sensitive. Patience, stuff. Patience. My body has become so sensitive. The wind is playing with me today. Thank you, wind. I enjoy that. I do enjoy the breeze. I do. really try to not get stressed out by the camera falling like every 2 seconds. Um, but seriously though, yeah. Yeah, my body is so sensitive to meat now, to meat to where now I know it's just not good for me. I know that because my body tells me that, you know. Uh, there was a post I saw recently that explained it pretty well. Like eating meat is like the equivalent of like aging yourself, you know. Eating meat, you're eating a dead animal, so you're basically essentially transferring that dead energy, the energy of death, into you, which causes you to age faster, you know. It's really not that healthy for you. And so my body tells me that if I eat meat, trust me when I tell you, I can literally tell you where exactly it is in my stomach. I can tell you where it is when it's traveling in my intestines. I can literally point and pinpoint the exact location that meat is. That's how sensitive my body has become. I could literally tell you where it is in my stomach, where it is in my intestines, when it's gonna come out. And my body knows to tell me, hey, this I don't really like this in me. Like get rid of this, which is why I'm mostly is it vegetarian, right? I keep forgetting the difference between vegetarian and vegan. Honestly, I honestly can't. To me, they're both like I just think of those things as the same thing. Honestly, I know there's a difference, but I can't remember what the difference is. But I do eat eggs and stuff, so I think it's like vegetarian, right? Vegan is like they don't eat any animal stuff, and I think vegetarian is like whatever. You get the point. You get the point, right? I'll say I'm pescatarian as of right now. I'm pescatarian, so I'll eat fish. Fish is fine, um, but mainly fish, veg, and stuff like that. You know, won't touch meat and stuff. And again, it's because of that, the changes that I've made that has caused this to happen. You know, again, same thing with alcohol. I don't really drink as much as I used to. Before I used to drink, let me tell you something. I used to drink a lot. Every day I'd be drinking some form of alcohol. Every day. And I had this sort of abnormal tolerance for it as well. And I still do. But I think that's just more because of who I am. It's probably genetics to a certain extent, but also I do believe it's because of who I am spiritually, because I just can't get drunk really. I can't. Like I can feel the effects of the alcohol, yes, but I can choose if I want to let it affect me or not, if that makes sense. I just don't get drunk. I actually had an experience once where there was this staff party at one of the places I was working, and it was like an all you can eat, all you can drink, sort of event. And let me tell you, I had one of the co-workers challenge me because he overheard me say I can't get drunk. He was like, "Man, you're lying. You're joking. I mean, look at you. You're so small and skinny. You know, you obviously you must be a lightweight, right?" And this guy, the guy who's telling me this is huge. He's a huge guy. I'm like, all right, bet. Let's do this. And before the night was even over, about halfway through the night, I was already on my like fifth, sixth drink. Different alcoholic drinks, mind you. I wasn't even drinking the same thing. I was drinking every single different bit of alcohol I could find because, again, it was all you could eat, all you could drink. I was taking well advantage of that. So I was drinking rum, whiskey, brandy, gin, anything, any different alcohol I could find. Campari, Hennessy, anything. I was consuming it. I was fine. I was literally fine. I can remember everything that happened that night completely coherently. And this guy, again, mind you, I'm talking about halfway through the night. The night isn't even over yet, right? This guy's on his like third drink. Was it even the second drink? No, yeah, it was his third drink. Meanwhile, I'm on my fifth, sixth, and this guy's gone. Mind you, he's drinking the same thing over and over, which is much more. You can actually tolerate a lot more alcohol if you drink the same thing. They actually say it's very dangerous for you to mix alcohol. Get you drunk very fast. Um, he was gone. Meanwhile, I'm just there chilling, and I watch him. I say, uh huh. After that, he never told me nothing ever again. Never. Never. Well, I don't know, man. Like, it's just like you reached a certain point where I realized again, like it wasn't doing anything for me, and again, like it was just doing me more harm than good. No, that's not to say I have completely cut it out of my life. Again, once in a blue moon, I'll drink, and if it's a good alcohol, then okay. Like, hey, don't get me wrong. I love a good whiskey, y'all. Oh my god, I love a good whiskey. I think whiskey is one of, if not my favorite form of alcohol. God, I love a good whiskey. It's just something about whiskey, man. As somebody who has drank almost every form of alcohol imaginable, I love whiskey. So for that, I will make an exception. If you give me a good bottle of whiskey, I will take it. I will accept that. But I won't. I don't drink like how I used to drink. Very, very rarely. Everything in moderation. Especially for who I am now today, because I've changed so much. And again, it's just something so fascinating to watch, to experience, not to watch, to experience it live. How much I've changed, and how much I continue to change, and how it reflects into reality. My lifestyle has changed. My surroundings have changed. My friends have changed. So many changes I've made over the years. So many things I said that I wouldn't do that I've done. And not all the experiences were good. Like again with that Zin patch thing. Very horrible experience. But it taught me something still. I still learned. I grew from it. I still improved from it. And that's why I tell people personally, live your life. Literally, live your life. Because you will never fully appreciate life if you don't live it to the fullest. Experience both the good and the bad, and again, this is something where I feel like a lot of people who are in religion struggle with, because as somebody who came from a hyper religious, overzealous Christian family, borderline cult like, to be honest. No, matter of fact, it was a cult. It was just straight up a cult. You're always taught that you are just never to do anything negative, never. Don't do anything sinful. Don't do anything bad or wrong. You always have to be on the good and the straight and narrow. And it's like, okay, the concept in of itself is a good concept. It is noble and it is righteous, absolutely, to want to be a good person, to do the right thing, to be full of love and grace and understanding, right? But you don't get there. What is the mix-up is how you get there. You don't get there by being so rigid with yourself and not living your life and just sticking to one path, one mode of thinking, right? That's where the disconnect, I feel personally, in a lot of these religions happen. It's how you get to that state of being. It's not by being this rigid, don't do this because it's just wrong. Don't do that because do you understand truly why? to you? How does it affect you? There's something that could be wrong for someone else, but isn't wrong for you. For some people, right? For some people, they cannot drink at all because they know if they drink, they're gonna get super drunk and they're gonna be like really rowdy and inappropriate. So, whereas for like another person, like for me, for example, I know if I drink, I'll be fine. I'll be completely fine. Matter of fact, I could drink like a freaking, like a skunk. Like, what's the saying again? I can't remember the saying. I could drink like one of those I could drink, but I'll be fine, right? And it's not something that I would say is sinful for me to do because I know I could handle it, right? So again, it's like for you to get to that state of being where you really are treating yourself and others with that dignity and that love and respect. You have to experience life. You have to experience the world. You actually have to go out there and live your life, or else you'll never know, and you'll never fully appreciate or understand what you have or who you genuinely are on the inside. You'll never know. One example I'll give y'all, and it's something that I honestly don't even like talking about. I don't. Sex before marriage. I did engage in that once with someone. I had a girlfriend at the time, and yeah, I wanted to see what that was like. So we had sex, and like a lot of people are like, oh, that's normal, that's fine, that's not an issue for them. And again, I don't judge those people. If it's not an issue for you and your partner, cool. I'm not even judging you. I'm not mad at you. I don't think you're wrong even for that. That's just your choice. We are just on different frequencies, right? It's not even to say that you're wrong, I'm right. No one is right or wrong. It's just a difference of choice, right? But for me, I found out very quickly that I didn't like that at all, because as she was my girlfriend, we were still at a stage in our relationship where we weren't I didn't truly know her, like, yes, we knew each other, yes, we knew a lot about each other, yes, we were together for a while, but it wasn't like there was that deep, intimate connection. That deep, intimate connection that you get only when you've been with somebody for a long time, that you've truly deeply gotten to know them, and you've been together, like for years, that sort of thing. That wasn't there, because it's like, okay, well, we haven't even considered talking about marriage yet. That's not, we don't even know if we're gonna really marry each other. We're just together because we have somewhat similar views on things and we both find each other attractive. Very casual to me. It seems very casual, and nothing about me is casual. I'm not a casual person. I'm a very deep person, very intentional individual, and again, it only helped me come to that. It only helped me understand myself deeper by going through that experience. Because it's only after that when I realized, ew, I fucking hate this shit. I hated it. I hated myself. I just didn't feel comfortable at all. I didn't like it. I did not. I just felt uncomfortable with the whole casualness of it all. Because to me, again, this is just me personally, how I feel. Sex is a very, very sacred thing. It's so sacred to me. It's so deeply... It is as close you could get to another soul as possible, as physically possible. Right? Sex is so sacred to me, it's not even funny. Like, trust me, like, sex to me is like... There's a level of devotion and worship and intimacy and sacredness that comes when it comes to sex. I'm definitely on a different level when it comes to that. Like, sex is worship. Just as far as I'm concerned, worship of that person, worship of God. It is very sacred, and nothing about it to me is casual. So it's only after go, but the thing is, I would never really understand myself or how I felt about it if I didn't go through that experience. Because I was always this person. I was always the person that viewed it this way, but I didn't fully understand until I went through that experience. The, the appreciation, the full appreciation only came after I had that experience. Because then I truly understood, yeah, no, this, I can't do this. This is just not working out for me, you know? Um, and yeah, like, that's again, like, that's why I say, live your life, man. Literally, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do in your life. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. You know, go out there, do what you want to do, man. I don't know. You wanna go skydiving? Go skydiving, man. Literally, go skydiving. People gonna tell you, oh, it's dangerous. Oh, don't do it. Oh, whatever. Who cares, bro? Do what you wanna do. You wanna go visit Australia? People are like, oh my God, why would you go to Australia? There's so many crazy creatures over there, man. You might die. Yeah, you might die, but you wanna do it? Go do it. Have the experience. You never know what you might learn. Seriously. And if you die trying, or you get really fucked up doing something that you wanted to do, that in itself is a lesson as well. And you'd learn from it. And you'd grow from it. So that, even that in of itself is not a bad thing. You know? I could say personally in my life I've been very lucky, to be quite honest. Very lucky. Because a lot of the things I've experienced and I've done, they could have gone a lot worse, right? Like, they could have gotten a lot worse. The outcome could have been a lot worse. But thankfully, it wasn't. Not to say that I have not experienced some horrible things, which I have. Don't get me wrong. I have experienced some messed up stuff. Really messed up stuff. But thankfully, they were never things that I couldn't recover from, heal from, move on from. You know? Which I am very grateful for. Extremely grateful. But you will only truly appreciate your life by living it to the fullest. And by living it to the fullest is how you appreciate life. They work hand in hand. It's almost like a paradox to a certain extent, but they work hand in hand. That's how it works. And again, all of this whole video, it really does stem from change. It really does. Change is just such a fascinating thing, you know. It's not always easy, but when you do it, so many things just ripple out into your reality, you know. It's so fascinating. It's so fascinating. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I don't really think there's any much more I want to add, you know. But don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to contradict yourself. Seriously, don't be afraid to change your mind. A lot of people feel like because they have a certain stance, or they've taken a certain stance or belief or perspective, that they have to stick with it simply to keep up appearances. No, you don't. You're a human. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change gears, to change direction, change perspectives. You have autonomy over your life. There's so many times when it's like I tell somebody something, and then afterward I tell them, you know what, I changed my mind. And I don't feel bad for telling them I changed my mind. I can't change my mind if I want to. I'm allowed to change. I'm allowed to grow. I change and evolve so fast that I'm like a different person every day, every week. I'm a completely different person. And I don't feel guilty about that. I don't feel shameful about that. Nor should you. And you shouldn't let anybody make you feel guilty for that. You know? You're allowed to grow, to change, to be better. Ah, but yeah. Yeah. That's all that I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you've reached this far into the video, I really sincerely appreciate you. If you've reached the end to this video, it really means a lot to me. And again, if it resonates, if you find it encouraging, helpful, relatable, you know, show some support. It would be greatly appreciated. Leave a like, leave a comment, you know, subscribe, anything that you want to do. It would be greatly appreciated. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.